Everyone desires to be in good health, but some people, for reasons best known to them or their inability to cope with life's challenges, some get hooked on negative habits that can impact the body and by association your health negatively. And sometimes it's quite difficult to retrace steps back and live a healthy life. That's when some people need rehabilitation. They need help. They need people to tell them that it will be okay. And the best time to stop bad habits that impact your health negatively is right now. This is Wellness and Living, and today we're talking about drug addiction. We have discussed it in the past, but we all agree that this is an issue that continues to affect different people in different societies all over the world. For the most part, more hands are coming on deck to ensure that we get the results we need, the result that our society desires, which is great health for all. My name is Thelma Obaze. You know, as we like to do, we'll come out, we'll talk with you, and then the program will begin to unveil. Do stay.
Mental health challenges. It could be environmental. Sometimes they are drug related. You know, so there are so many factors, psychosocial factors and all that.
One of the things that make people have mental health challenges is probably drugs. And then the second thing is the economy of the country. A lot of people can't take care of their needs. You discover that some people, even when they walk, even some when they drive, they don't drive with their reasoning. They drive with absent-mindedness. A lot of people are killing themselves with drugs. They believe that drugs is the answer to their problem.
People have mental health challenges for some reasons. One of it could be depression, and secondly, it could be as a result of some things they've done unknowingly to them that has affected them.
Some, because of smoking of hard drugs, can have mental problems. So many people, some other people can maybe problems of the world. Also, some people can get mental issues because of, let's say, attack from people.
The truth is that in treating people with mental health, the role of love and care from the family cannot be overemphasized. You know, there's a need to, understand what the person is going through. First of all, seek medical advice. We have psychologists all over the place, And then after that, when they get back home, there's a lot of rehabilitation that has to be done on such kind of people.
By loving them, caring for them, but also at the same time, we have to be very careful so that they will not influence us like them.
They should be treated with love, care, and concern, so that with time, when God intervenes, the person can regain his normalcy.
We first of all recognize that this one has this problem. And then secondly, with love. We love them, get to know that they have these challenges and know how to reach out to them. Each individual should belong to an organization where these things can be detected.
Ask, why does a human being get addicted on drugs? And the general answer, especially for medical practitioners who have treated and worked hard to rehabilitate drug addicts, they say that many addicts do not intend to become hooked on drugs. It's something that no one plans to happen. That's why we often say that prevention is better than cure. Research shows that the abuse of drugs is caused by many factors, including love for money by the peddlers, disobedience to the laws of the country, proliferation of the market with individuals who sell medicines, a lack of control of dispensing, amongst many other factors. Some Social reasons make drug usage a deceitful comfort for the users. For example, peer pressure, a lack of adequate parental control, poverty, unemployment, just to mention a few. For these reasons and more, President Muhammadu Buhari has set up a two-tier presidential intervention structure on the elimination of drug and substance abuse. The Presidential Advisory Committee on the Elimination of Drug Abuse, PASEDA, is chaired by former military administrator of Lagos, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, retired, and has amongst its members the wife of the President, Aisha Buhari, the wife of the Vice President, Dolapo Oshibajo, Ministers of Health, Education, Youth and Sports, Information, and Women Affairs, amongst others. The committee has been visiting relevant organizations to discuss and chart a way forward.
We'll look at how the various agencies, Customs, NAFDAC, NDLEA, Immigration, and the others, how they interact, how they work together towards preventing drugs from getting into the country.
Research records that the Northwest and South-South regions in Nigeria have the highest drug abuse rate. The Buba Marwa-led Presidential Advisory Committee on the Elimination of Drug Abuse has also pledged to work with NDLEA to bring about a lasting solution to the menace of drug use in Nigeria, especially amongst the youths. Some people have the support of friends and family who time and time again ensure they get to rehabilitation centers where they can get the best help. Even when they fall off again and fall down, literally, they pick them up over and over until that person becomes clean. According to medical practitioners, many drug addicts need the help and the support of friends and family to quit drugs. We spoke with a medical practitioner so that we can learn more. And if any of us is in any situation where people need help and assistance to get rehabilitation, then we will definitely know what to do.
It could be physically, it could be mentally. Mentally as a result of probably ill health or accident that now affects the brain, and then the person is not able to behave optimally and normally as we know him to be. More often than not, we have influence that might not be so glaring to the parents. It could be indulgence in hard drugs. It could be negative peer influence. It could be as a result of failing relationship issues, and is no longer getting along. He has been dumped, and suddenly the dream of his life is married to some other person. Depression sets in, anxiety, and before you know what's happening, the person is withdrawn. It could be very, very detrimental to his health, unless and it is easily or quickly discovered by the family. It could go the other way, and God knows, might go insane. The African tradition, irrespective of Western education, demands that we keep very close surveillance of members of the family. The siblings are there for us, not just for having sake. We should be concerned about their welfare, their feeding. If they have anything disturbing them, we try to get them off it. It won't take long for an observing sister or brother or a loving mother to notice an unusual behavioral tendencies in a young person. The best thing to do is to take that person into confidence. In the quietness of the room, the mother could now, talk to the child. Look, I am here, you are here, you're my son. What's exactly your problem? Let me know. Maybe it's a very, very bad relationship between the son and the father. They're not getting along. The mother has a vital role to play here, interfering and then getting that problem solved. By talking to the father, let him be realistic that these are youths. They are youths. They are getting along and they have their youthful exuberance. They should be tolerated. You don't get mad at them or you try to throw them out of the house. You fool them. You embrace them. Allow the person to talk himself out, talk out his problem, get him, take him into confidence. Where it goes out of the way of the family, social workers can come in. There are people out there in the streets, particularly young men, because we want it like that. Can we be so irresponsible that we cannot be our brother's keeper? Parents may not have actually taken notes of the unwholesome relationship there. They're into cultism because they are into hard drugs too. They take cocaine, they take marijuana, they take heroin, illicit gin is there. They're having a field day. And out there, they are never steadying. It has a way of wearing them down over time. And if it goes on and on for long, unchecked or even unknown, unfortunately unknown to the parents, it might reach a stage where it might be irreversible. And by rehabilitation, it means it goes beyond even the parents now. The parents are helpless because they are not professionals. Trained psychiatrists, trained psychologists, social workers, health and medical personnel could come into that case. The young man becomes a case study. The psychiatric profiles his own solution. The psychologist profiles his own solution. The social workers will now say, let's do it this way. Let's talk to him. Let's keep him. Let's place him on drugs. Let him have sufficient sleep. Over time, we now take that person into confidence, give him his inspirational talk, and when we are able to get to a particular point in time, we can get that person to learn some skills. It could be ICT. We have situations where mentals are reformed in prisons. And you could see that young person expressing the best of talents there.
Or behind your neck, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 6. So you see it, Mercy? This is it. Thank you, Christine. Well done. Throw it, go. Throw it again. Go back. Throw it. Throw your hand forward. Good. Do it again. That's it. The more you do, the higher your body will come up. Throw your body with the hand. Throw your body forward with the hand. Keep on. Good. That's it. If somebody is successful in quitting drugs, if someone gets rehabilitation and can live a normal and a healthy life, why go back to drugs? It's a very difficult question, but more often than not, it happens. Well, we've had our exercise, which is one sure way to upgrading our health on the regular. You can work out daily, or you can start by doing it small and build a support group with your family and friends. I can assure you, it's one of the best habits that you can imbibe. And now, moving from one health topic to another, talking about reproductive health. At some point, everyone is born. We don't know how we come, and we don't know how and when we'll go. But there's a person that brings many children to the world. That's the mother. It's her responsibility to nurture the child from the womb to the cradle, raise a healthy child, build a healthy immune system. And it starts from somewhere.
Over the years, Nigeria has made some appreciable progress in health, education, technology, and the economy through various strategic investments. However, these gains have not significantly translated into improvement in the quality of life as more people live in poverty with restricted access to good food, safe housing, quality education, and basic health care than they were 20 years ago. According to National Population Commission in 2017, there are over 180 million Nigerians, out of which about 40 million are women of reproductive age, representing approximately 1 in every 5 Nigerians. The United Nations projects that going by the current demographic trend, Nigeria's population will double to over 400 million Nigerians by the year 2050, unless something deliberate is done. In spite of past and current commitments to global goals of ending poverty, ensuring healthy lives, promoting well-being, and providing full and productive employment for its citizens, Nigeria still has one of the highest rates of preventable maternal deaths in the world, contributing to over 10% of the global burden. 5 women die every hour of pregnancy and childbirth-related causes in Nigeria. This is equivalent to 110 women dying every day and 40,150 women dying every year. These preventable deaths of our sisters, mothers, wives, daughters, and friends, who are also Nigerian citizens, negatively directly impact our families, communities, and our economy. Thankfully, there is a way to substantially improve this situation. This is where family planning or childbirth spacing comes in. Empowering families to have children they can adequately cater for will help in reducing economic burden and lift families out of poverty. When children are planned for and spaced adequately, it saves the lives of the mother and child by preventing high-risk pregnancies and increasing the chances of survival and future prosperity. According to the 2013 National Demographic Health Survey, 7.3 million women have an unmet need, family planning, meaning that they want to avoid pregnancy, but they are not currently using any family planning method. This represents about 16% of married women in Nigeria. Meeting women's needs for modern contraceptives prevents about 1/3 of all maternal deaths globally. Nigerian leaders need to address this by making family planning services accessible to every woman, married or unmarried.
Currently, we have, for example, infant mortality rate of about 122 per thousand. If you're able to space 2 to 3 years, you're going to be reducing the infant mortality to about 67 per thousand. By the time you space the children to about 3 to 4 years, in fact, your infant mortality rate is going to be as low as 47 per thousand.
Family planning use in Nigeria increased only marginally from 8% to 16% in 2003 and 2013. According to a 2013 estimate, the total fertility rate, TFR, which is the average number of live births a woman in Nigeria has throughout her life, stands at about 5.5 children per woman, one of the highest in the world. This has declined only marginally since independence over 50 years ago, when it stood at 6.6. If we can get contraceptive to all these women who need them, we would prevent an estimated 1.5 million child deaths and stop about 13,000 women from dying over the next 10 years.
Making contraceptive information and services available to everyone who needs it is a moral obligation. It is a cost-effective way of reducing infant and maternal morbidity and mortality. It improves health and quality of life. It empowers families and communities on a pathway to poverty reduction. No woman deserves to suffer or die bringing forth another life. Every child deserves to live, thrive, and prosper.
A recent IMF report in 2018 shows that economic growth and recovery, although progressive, remains slow, barely keeping pace with our rapidly growing population, a pace that hampers efforts to boost employment and reduce poverty. Though there are other factors that contribute to the GDP, there is substantial evidence that countries that have reduced total fertility rate have significantly improved their GDP. Reduction in the total fertility rate is correlated with increased productivity, which enhances gross domestic product, GDP.
Naturally, we all know that the more people you have in a family, the more it will take to keep that family going in every dimension. Feeding them, clothing them, sending children to school. So the more you have in the family, the more children, the more you have to spend. And the less you have to invest, because investment often results from the leftover, haven't done the basics. So naturally, if you have a large number of children, there's less saving, there's less investment. There is a direct correlation between lowered fertility rates and increasing family buying power.
Evidence suggests that in countries where families have the number of children they can cater for, there will be reduced economic burden on the household. If families enjoy this benefit of improved economic well-being, then you can imagine how this translates to boosting the economy of a nation like Nigeria. With reduced burden on the household resulting from childbirth spacing, families are better able to afford good food, attain higher education levels, and have better health care. Over time, healthier, productive, educated families are better able to contribute to national development due to a more productive workforce, translating to higher overall economic growth for states and our country as a whole. More healthy, productive, educated families lead to a better society and more productive country. With more controlled population growth, the government is better able to provide quality healthcare services, education, social infrastructure, and jobs for its citizenry.
Economic growth can be accelerated by prioritizing investments in family planning, in our socio-economic growth, and our recovery intervention. Government needs to take the lead in ensuring that every man and woman in our urban and rural areas have access to effective family planning as part of their focus on maternal and child death improvement. It is not enough to provide family planning services. Government should also encourage people to take up family planning as part of the effort to improve our socio-economic growth.
The solution is in your hands. All you need is act now. Evidence shows that Nigeria can transist from a lower to a higher middle-income country in 40 years if she invests in more ambitious family planning programs. Family planning or childbirth spacing can help to have smaller families, leading to massive economic gains that can potentially lift 53 million people out of poverty by the year 2020. Policy and decision makers at all levels must ensure adequate funding for childbirth spacing and family planning programming so that this important service is available at all primary healthcare facilities. Religious and traditional leaders speak up about the benefits of childbirth spacing. Health experts, managers, implementers, and service providers should provide family planning service to everyone who needs it without bias and speak up about the safety and effectiveness of modern family planning methods. Business leaders invest in family planning programming to support the efforts of the Nigerian government. As the most populous African nation, Nigeria has the capacity and responsibility to do this. With the appropriate amount of funds and right policies in place, we all have the moral obligation to ensure that every woman can access family planning information and services. Remember that investing in family planning is investing for a lifetime of rewards. We must get it together for a brighter future.
Russell Brand tells us that the mentality and behavior of drug addicts is completely confusing to those who are not hooked on drugs. But once you begin to understand that they are powerless over what they do, then you can begin to empathize, sympathize, and build a support system around them. Because when they are rehabilitated, everyone benefits. Then they can contribute meaningfully to any society. We have been talking about drug addiction on Wellness and Living today. Thank you as always for being our friend and keeping our company on our social media handle, Wellness and Living at Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. My name is Thelma Obaze. I'd love to do this again with you, discussing some other health issue where we can make the most impact on it. For now, bye-bye.